everybody, and welcome to another brand new video where we'll be creating more games on Scratch. In today's video, you are going to learn how to program your own poetry generator. What you will learn: variables, lists and random lists items, repetition, the repeat block. So let's get your game will start. You will click on Anna and she'll say, "Hi, I'm Anna, and what's your name?" You will have to type in your name, press enter. It will say, "Hi, your name." Click the computer to generate the poem. So this is the computer. So if you click on it, it will say, here is your poem. It says, "I burp loudly by the moon. I feel happy." There we go. So that's how your code will be. So let's start the project. Lovelace Starter World project opened, or the poetry generator opened. Then you're going to click on your Adder sprite and click the Events tab in the script coding section. Then drag the When this sprite click block into the coding area on the right. So you'll come to Events and you drag out When this sprite is clicked. Then we're going to go to the Looks tab and drag out the Say Hello block for 2 seconds. Then it's going to say hello if you click on Adder. Alright, so now, can you, as a challenge, can you change your code so that it says, "Hi, I'm Adder"? Well, this is simple. You will type in the Say block, "Hi, I'm Adder." And you can test it out and see what she says. Okay, so now, the next step we need to do is introducing herself, but she does not know your name. So we're going to go to the Sensing block and drag out the Ask What's Your Name and Wait block. Alright, so you can click on Adder and test it out. Stop the button. There we go. "Hi, I'm Adder. What's your name?" And there should be a text right over there. So now we can use variables to store name. So let's click on the variables block, make a variable, and call it name. Alright, so now to store your name, we need to click the variables tab and then drag the set name block into the end of your code. So set name to. We can stop the program here. So now we'll use the answer block in the sensing area. We drag out the the answer block over there. So now if we click on Adder and she asks us what's our name, we can type there and it will save it up here. Do it again. It will save it up there. Okay, so now you can make use of your name in the code. So now you can go to Looks and drag out the Say Hello block, then go to Operators and drag out the Join block. So she will say, "Hi, space," and in the second block where it says banana, you go to Variables and drag out the Name block so that it types your name. Okay, so now we can also hide the variables on the stage by clicking the tick next to it, like this. So if we click on Adder, okay, and she asks us what's our name, we can type there Peter, and we say okay. It will say, "Hi, Peter." Make sure when you type in "hi" in the first block, make sure you put a space so that it indicates that you're putting a space in between. If you don't, it will conjoin the two together like this. There we go. It will put it together. So make sure to always leave a space. Alright, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to looks and drag out another say hello for 2 seconds block. And then we're going to type inside, click the computer to generate a poem. Click the computer to generate a poem. Full stop. Alright, so we can test it out. What's your name? I'll type in there Justin. Hi, Justin. Click the computer to generate a poem for 2 seconds. Alright, now let's program Ada's computer called the Analytical Engine to generate poetry. So we click on the computer. Then we're going to code it like this. We go to events, we drag out when the sprite clicked, go to looks, drag out the say hello block, and inside the say hello block, we will type, here is your poem, here is your poem, ... Now, to create a random poem, you will need a list of words to use. To create a new list, we're going to go to the variables tab and we're going to call a list. So we're going to make a list and call it verbs. Verbs. All right, so your new list will be empty. Click the plus at the bottom of your empty list and add these verbs. So we click here and we're going to type. Let's type in the first one. The first one we can type there laugh. The second one we can type there dance. And then the third one we can type there burp. Okay, now the first line of your poem should be the I followed by a random verb. So to create this line of poetry, you're going to need the pick random number between 1 and the length of verbs list. Then we're going to use this block to get a random item from the verbs list. Then we're going to use the join block, then the say block. So how it'll go is we're going to go to looks and drag out the say hello for 2 seconds block. Then we go to operators and get the join block. We type in there I space. Go to variables and we click on item 1 of verbs and put it in the second spot. Then we're going to go to operators and drag out the pick random and put it right there. So it's going to say join I item pick random 1 to length, which is in variables, length of verbs. There we go, over there, for 2 seconds. So now we can test this code a few times. Your computer should generate or choose a random word from the verbs list each time. So if we click on Ada, let me move the list this side. So if you click on Ada and I type there Justin for the name, click the computer to generate a poem. We click on the computer. There we go. Here is your poem, I dance. And you can do it a couple of times. Here is your poem, I laugh. You can do it a couple of more times. Here is your poem, I laugh once again. Here is your poem, I dance. So you can continue adding more verbs to your list so that the computer can generate more of your verbs. So the next thing we're going to do is add to it because the poem is too short. So now we're going to make a list for adverbs in the next line of your poem. And an adverb or an adverb is a word that describes a verb. So we're going to create another list called adverbs. All right. So we click on variables, make a list, and call it add verbs. And click OK. Then we're going to click on the plus sign and type these three words: loudly, sorry, there we go. Number 2, silently. And number 3, endlessly. Okay, whoops. There we go. So now we can add this line to our computer's code to say a random adverb on the next line of poem. So we go to looks and we drag out the say block. Oops, this is on Ada, sorry. Make sure you're on computer. The say block. Then we go to variables and drag out item 1 odd adverbs. Then we go to operators and drag out the pick random block. Then we're going to go back to variables and drag out length of adverbs and for 2 seconds. So now if we do this, we can just untick these so that they don't show on the stage, and then we just click on our computer. Here is your poem, I dance loudly. We can try another one. Here is your poem, I burp silently. And here is the third one, I dance endlessly. Okay, so now you can do the same thing by adding more adverbs. So now we're going to add a list of nouns to your project. A noun is a place or a thing. So we go to make a list and we're going to say noun. And then we're going to add these 3 nouns. The first one is sea. The second one is moon. And the third one is tree. Okay, and then you can also untick. So now we can use this same code for the third block. So we go to looks, drag out the say block. Then we're going to go to operators and drag out the join. And we're going to type in the first place by the, space. Don't forget to put a space there. Go to variables and drag out item 1 of adverbs, but this time you change it to noun. Then we're going to go to operators and drag out pick random block. Then we're going to go back to variables and drag out length of noun. And it should say here as well noun. So if you click on the computer, it should say, here is your poem, I laugh silently by the moon. All right, so now we're going to add another list and we're going to call this one adjectives. An adjective is a describing word. So now we go to variables, click on make a list and type there adjectives. Adjectives. Okay. So now we have our list there and we're going to have these 3 adjectives. The first one is happy. The second one is tired. And the third one is hungry. Okay, and now you can do the same by ticking it so that it doesn't appear on the stage. And now you can add another say block from the looks. And we go to operators, grab the join block, type in the first block, I feel, space, variables, item 1 of adjectives. Then we're going to go to operators and drag out pick random block. go back to variables and look for length of adjectives for 2 seconds. So if you click on the computer once again, here is your poem. I burp endlessly by the tree. I feel happy. Alright, so now you can click the boxes next to your list to hide them, which we've already done. And we now can test out our new poetry every time. So now we're going to animate the analytical engine. So let's animate the computer so that it looks like it's generating the poetry. So if you click on your computer sprite, we're going to add this code after the first say block. So now, after it says here is your poem, we're going to go to Control and drag out the repeat loop and put it in between there. Then we're going to drag these ones out and put them underneath. Make sure to stop your program so that it doesn't distract you. Okay, so it's going to be repeat 10 times. We go to motion and drag out the turn anti-degrees clockwise. The first one, change the number to a 5. Then we're going to go to Control, drag out the wait 1 second block. Then we're going to type inside 0.1. Then back to motion, drag out the turn clockwise block. Put there a 5 as well. And go back to Control, drag out the other wait 1 second block, change it to 0.1. So now if we test the program or the project, you should see the computer shake before producing the poem. Here is your poem. I laugh endlessly by the sea. I feel happy. Perfect. So now you should have seen the computer shake as if it's generating the poem for you. So now we can also add some sound to it. So let's click on the Sounds tab and choose a sound icon and get ourselves a computer beeps sound. So we can search here, computer. Oh, hold on, sorry guys. Computer. We can choose the first one. Okay, and you could test it out by clicking the play button. Okay, then we can go back to code and add the start sound block to play a sound just before the animation begins. So we go to sound and we drag out computer sound beep, start computer sound beep, and put it right there. Now, your challenge for you guys, the challenge for you guys is to now personalize your poem. So it's very simple, but you can add more to it. So the challenge is, can you use your name variable to personalize your poem? So can you make the computer say, here is your poem, your name? Challenge number 2, can you add more words to your list so that it can generate more poems? And can you use your own lists to generate your own poetry? So that is the challenges for this video. Add more to it, keep it more fun, and who knows, you guys will have the best poetry generator in the world. Thank you for joining me, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, let us know. And to book a one-on-one session online, visit us on www.pingacademy.co.za. Have a good one.